فضای غبارآلوده استدیو
If you have not heard by now, okay, the U.S. has officially entered the conflict between Israel and Iran. Now, let's be honest, this road was paved before, Trump got into office. But, honey, Trump has definitely entered the chat. And he probably should have chosen to distance himself or think about it a little more. But I guess that ain't his style. I mean, I know he got felons and all and took a bullet. But, honey, we done went from threats to bombing to ceasefire. to bombing again, and now Trump big mad. Hard to keep up, right? Now, originally, Trump said he would decide in 2 weeks if the U.S. would get directly involved with the conflict between Iran and Israel. But that 2 weeks turned into 2 days as the U.S. did bomb nuclear facilities in Iran last Saturday. Now, Trump called the act a spectacular, as you can see, military success, and he even thanked Israel. Now, he addressed the nation, just hours after the operation. And it said that it was one of the largest B-2 strikes in American history. Now, he also issued a warning to Iran after he struck them. But then turned around and said he want peace at the same time. Now, y'all, whether I agree or not, how you gonna bomb people and then tell the people you want peace? Let's be realistic. If someone busts you upside the head and tell you let's be friends or cool, it's more like hell nah. Well, hell nah if it's me. I'm going to return the favor and then we might can be cool after, okay?
Our objective was the destruction of Iran's nuclear enrichment capacity and a stop to the nuclear threat posed by the world's #1 state sponsor of terror. Tonight I can report to the world that the strikes were a spectacular military success. Iran's key nuclear enrichment facilities have been completely and totally obliterated. Iran, the bully of the Middle East, must now make peace. If they do not, future attacks will be far greater and a lot easier. For 40 years, Iran has been saying death to America, death to Israel. They have been killing our people, blowing off their arms, blowing off their legs with roadside bombs. That was their specialty. We lost over 1,000 people, and hundreds of thousands throughout the Middle East and around the world have died as a direct result of their hate. In particular, so many were killed by their general, Qasem Soleimani. I decided a long time ago that I would not let this happen. It will not continue. I want to thank and congratulate Prime Minister Bibi Netanyahu. We worked as a team like perhaps no team has ever worked before. And we've gone a long way to erasing this horrible threat to Israel. I want to thank the Israeli military for the wonderful job they've done. And most importantly, I want to congratulate the great American patriots who flew those magnificent machines tonight, and all of the United States military on an operation the likes of which the world has not seen in many, many decades. Hopefully, we will no longer need their services in this capacity. I hope that's so. I also want to congratulate the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, General Dan Raisin-Kane, spectacular general, and all of the brilliant military minds involved in this attack. With all of that being said, this cannot continue. There will be either peace or there will be tragedy for Iran far greater than we have witnessed over the last 8 days. Remember, there are many targets left. Tonight's was the most difficult of them all, by far, and perhaps the most lethal. But if peace does not come quickly, we will go after those other targets with precision, speed, and skill. Most of them can be taken out in a matter of minutes. There's no military in the world that could have done what we did tonight, not even close. There has never been a military that could do what took place just a little while ago.
Now, it said that there were no nukes where they bombed at in Iran. Either that or Iran moved them. I don't know, but I do know if they didn't have them yet, this looks a little bad on the U.S. if there was none there. Okay. It's almost like a repeat of the weapons of mass destruction lie that was about, a few years ago. Now, I'm just sitting back watching because they said we were the violent ones fighting each other, right? But look at this, all right? They all got that lighter skin. Now, I'm not surprised, of America bombing anything. I mean, if we knew our history, this country has a history of bombing and violence that they were proud of at one point that they actually hide now. And they always created a false narrative or a made up lie about something to justify that. So it's not far-fetched to me, if there weren't any nuclear weapons anywhere. But it's possible that they did have them. I'm pretty neutral. But anyway, they dropped bombs in Tulsa, Oklahoma's Greenwood, and they said they didn't, but a lot of people back then said they did, and always a trumped up charge when it comes to the lynching of our Black men and women. So none of this surprised me at all. And again, I see it from all sides, and I give both parties the smoke. Now, Iran has since struck back at U.S. bases in the Middle East. However, as of June 23rd, Trump has announced that Israel and Iran have reached a peace deal, y'all, only for Israel to unload and bomb the people again within a few hours. Now Trump big mad. Check it out.
Israel, as soon as we made the deal, they came out and they dropped a load of bombs, the likes of which I've never seen before. The biggest load that we've seen. I'm not happy with Israel. When I say, okay, now you have 12 hours, you don't go out in the first hour and just drop everything you have on them. So I'm not happy with them. I'm not happy with Iran either. But I'm really unhappy if Israel's going out this morning because the one rocket that didn't land, that was shot, perhaps by mistake, that didn't land. I'm not happy about that. You know what? We basically have two countries that have been fighting so long and so hard that they don't know what the fuck they're doing. Do you understand that?
Now, I know one thing for sure is this ceasefire and all this foolishness is a complete mess. Other countries looking at us all around the world. I know that if I don't know nothing else. Oh, that and he big mad. Now, I've seen all the opinions about sleeper cells being here or how they had to bomb Iran, or some people felt like they shouldn't have, and some people say the sleeper cells are here because the borders were open before. So I've heard it all, Now, only God knows what will happen. But I will say, I don't think this is going to be over anytime soon, and the back and forth will continue. Now, Congress has had, mixed responses, but honey, TikTok and X have sounded off. Take a listen, okay?
Soon as Donald Trump issued a ceasefire, guess what Israel did? These went to dropping bombs on Iran. If you thought bombs over Baghdad was bad, Israel just dropped shit on Iran. Donald Trump said they've been fighting for so long and so hard that they don't even know what the doing. Probably one of the realest things I ever heard Donald Trump say out of his mouth. You got played, Trump. You got played by these people. You tried to issue a ceasefire and Iran abided by that. But no, not the other side. Not the other side. They went to dropping bombs.
My boy Trump just went full YN mode. I'm talking about popped out the cut with a 100-round Draco. Then they said when the man popped out, he walked down. He walked down. You understand me? Overstand me. Then they said when the man went and walked down, he spun the block. Not one, not two, but 3 times. Y'all don't quit playing with Donald Duntavius Trump top, man. For real, now, the number one YN to do it. Hey.
At this point, if we get a surprise tonight, fuck him. I'm ready. Cause Trump don't know when to shut the Iran don't even give a what we talking about. They don't care if we like them or not. They just want to get their lick back. So at this point, I love y'all. See y'all on the other side.
Now Israel, don't piss off, because now y'all running around acting like the bad cousin that gonna go hit the biggest person on the playground just because you know you gonna run and go get your big cousin and you know your big cousin gonna handle that. Don't do that. Do that because Trump said 12 hours ceasefire, and within the first hour y'all sending missiles over there to Iranian people. Now what the about? What the that about? Because first of all, let's get this shit understood. Trump never dropped a bomb on the Iranian people. He dropped a bomb to neutralize the Iranian threat of the nuclear bombs that they had. That's what the did. He didn't drop it on the people. Now here go Israel. Y'all running over there trying to drop bombs on the people. What is y'all doing? Do y'all want the war? Or do y'all want peace? That's what I'm trying to figure out now. Because this man done interjected himself in something that's really ain't got shit to do with us, because that's our ally. That's our ally, so we got to get into it. He done neutralized. Y'all start to shit up. What is y'all doing? Y'all didn't hear what Donald Jerome Trump said on the... Y'all been fighting for so long. And his exact words was, y'all don't even know what y'all still fighting for. And I'm starting to believe that shit. Because goddamn, let go. If they agreed and y'all agreed, why the f around and do some bullshit like that? You making it hard for us to defend your at this point now. Don't make it hard for us to defend you now. Do not make it hard for us to defend you, because we got to be there for you because you are ally. Anybody been in the streets, you know you got to ride for your people. When you got your allies, you got to ride for them. But don't be out there acting like that bad fucking cousin that just going out there starting because you know big cuz coming to help. Don't do that.
Now, I gotta admit, there's a lot of people who actually support Trump in our community, which means a lot of our family or our FBA, freedmen, or even our riders appear to be abandoning or disagreeing with the Democrat Party that the majority of us have been voting for, well, for the past 60 years. Now, I'm not here to judge. How you vote is your own personal choice, and you should vote for who benefits you individually. Besides, I think, insulting people, that doesn't work. Nobody cares about that anymore. And that actually hurts you more than help you. Ask some of the Democrats who are willing to open their eyes and see that all that bunch of you need a civics class or you stupid or you MAGA, none of that works anymore. Now, as somebody from the freedmen lineage, I got an opinion, but I'm also just watching. These people ain't about to get my blood pressure up, and I'm not jumping in on any other folks' problems because as a freedman, I've done enough. My people have done enough. Let them fight it out themselves, since they're always talking about our crimes against one another. So yeah, I may have an opinion, but I'm not about to be out here getting mad because of this or that. That's on them. Okay? And let's be clear, Democrat or Republican, they always gonna look at Israel a little bit different. Personally, I think we should keep dancing, pooling our resources and just waking up to their foolishness in general, saving our coins. I hear a lot of Black people talking about growing more food, which is very beneficial these days. Let them figure out their own problems and watch these people go back and forth, And let's be clear. I'll say this again, and I've said it before in other videos. A lot of the people who are Hispanics or minorities or even that come over here from the Middle East, they're classified as whites. Okay. Now, I also want to say I recognize that we have our freedmen family and lineage who are in the military, and they'll always get my support, of course. I'm a firm believer that everybody has a right to choose their own path and choices. So I'm not one to tell people what to do or feel like they should do what I think they should, or it's wrong if it's not what I would do. It's called having a choice, and each individual have that, whether I like it or not. Same thing I feel about voting. I don't care about who's Democrat or Republican. I care about who's going to benefit me Okay. I'm not about to sit here and be mad at you because you chose something else. Never understood, why people, are mad at someone else for their choices or feel a need to force what they think or do on another. Many people do, though. Now, with this said, I'm going to go and try to conclude this video. I'm trying to keep it a little shorter, but I just had to show you some of our people's reactions to Trump and this whole, Iran and Israel beef, for sure. And tell me below in the comments, do you agree with Trump or no? Are you worried about what could potentially happen? We got all these people saying that we're in World War III or in the first stages or we're at war. Tell me what you think. Okay? So be sure to like and subscribe to the Emancipation Media channel. And be sure to sign up to my website, www.moorthreads.co, for our upcoming website launch of our Black Wall Street merch. And guys, be safe in this heat. Okay?